Good morning, friends. I welcome you all to Kumar's Kitchen Chronicle. I promised you that I would start posting our South Indian recipes for the benefit of all of you out there. And today, as I promised, I will start with Rava Upma. I know everybody makes Rava Upma, but I do it with a little bit of twist to enhance the flavor and taste, for simply to keep to the old age adage which says a way to a man's heart is through his stomach. So can we begin? Join me on this new assignment. Let me first introduce you to what are the basic raw ingredients which I use in proportions. This is 2 green chilies, and this is the size of the ginger, and I've got 2 onions. I have cut this, and it almost gives you about 3 teaspoons of chili and about 3 teaspoons of ginger. I've got 1 teaspoon of mustard and about 2 teaspoons of cashew and about 2 teaspoons of this chana dal, or what I would call kadla, not vachcha kadla. I don't know in English what they say. This is vachcha kadla. And I have required quantity of gingerly oil, and I've got ghee, and this is the salt to taste. Now this is the 2 onions which I have used to cut this into 2 sizes. One, they are very fine gradient. One onion is cut this way, and the other onions are slightly cut in a bigger way, so it gives a very combined taste. Now I'm going to make this. All this are required for 1 cup of semolina. This is double roasted already, but I still roast it. Only thing is, you must make sure that whenever you buy from the stores, the rava must be very dry. It must not have any knots, or because they tend to pick up little worms very easily, so you must keep it in a very tight Tupperware. So I'm going to start this whole process. I have put 1 cup of semolina in this. Now I start the flame, not very high flame. So what I do is I start roasting it slightly. The idea is, when you start roasting it, you will, all this kacha taste would go away, and you get a slight flavor of the rava wafting to your nostrils, and the color would change very slightly. You don't have to roast it very deep. Now, for the purpose of convenience, for making this upma, I've got 3 cups of hot water placed, and I'm keeping it boiled so that we can just add to this at the right time. Now you feel now this rava is getting a little warmed up. Now, in order to, the next step would be to use what I would call Kumar's secret recipes. Now I am adding ghee. This ghee is of course made from our famous utukuli. Now you see, I am adding ghee so that they join together. If you buy from the outlets which are not already roasted, you need to roast a little bit more. But I buy a double roasted rava, so it makes my work a little easier. So I've added 2 teaspoons of ghee onto this. Now I'm going to transfer this and keep it aside. The next step will be, I'm going to add a little bit of gingerly oil. This is about 3 teaspoons, and to this I add the mustard, and I am going to wait for it to crackle. And once it starts crackling, now it's starting to crackle. I am adding this chana dal, about 2 teaspoons, and to this I add the green chilies. Next, I add the ginger, which is about the size what I have showed you already. This will be the size. When I cut it, you get about 3 teaspoons approximately. Next, I add this onions, which I have already kept ready. For Rava Upma, you don't have to really deep fry the onions to golden yellow, because it's also cooked in the water. Now I get the onion smell, so I reduce the heat and I pour this 3 cups of water. Now this will start, we'll have to allow it to boil. Now at this stage, I'm going to add a bit of salt. I've got this salt here. So the required quantity for 1 cup is, this is what I add, about 1.5 teaspoons of salt. You can reduce it or increase the salt according to one's palate. You wait for the onions to get cooked and you will see it boiling. Once it starts, because already the water is hot, it will boil quite soon. Now you can see this water is boiling, and now I'm going to add the rava. It's a very simple dish, but you have to take care that it doesn't form any clots while Rava Upma has started thickening. At this stage, I add this same gingery oil. So see that glazing. This is what gives you a lovely glazing. I won't be able to tell you how exactly the quantity, but I must have added about 6 teaspoons of this oil, and you see how the glazing turns out. Now it's almost ready. So what I would do is, now I switch off the stove and I add a little ghee over this, and to this I add a little bit of cashew, which is broken cashews, and I start turning it round. The heat is off. Now this is blending. Now what I would do is, this is complete now, so what I would do is I do this to close this, because what happens is there are a little bit of moisture that will all accumulate over the sink, so the upma will become a little dry and glossy. We give it a few minutes before we transfer it back. Now, bon appetit, my friends. Thank you for watching, and let's meet again tomorrow with another new recipe. Thank you.